rundown.
Well, joining us as usual is Davis Fang, our tech presenter, live from Sydney, Australia. Very good evening to you, Davis.
Hello, it's a great evening.
Good day, mate.
Good day. I almost missed this show again because the clock's changed here and I wasn't sure if it was going to be later or earlier. It's been a real travesty.
Will you not just nearly miss it because you were watching the Grand Prix, Davis?
That too. But it's been very confusing, all of these time changes recently.
So you basically have missed two shows by just not getting it. Yeah, basically, right. But hey, at least you are here. You are here. Now, this is the bit we love because you tell us about the latest tech and Renee rolls her eyes mostly.
I sure do.
So let's start with this extraordinary story, shall we, about the moon.
Yeah, so do we all remember Nokia? Yes, Nokia was a company that we all believe, is from technology from the past. But what they're actually doing now is very, very exciting because they are bringing 4G to the moon. And let's just note that it's a 4G that they're bringing and not 5G. But it's still exciting, isn't it?
I think you need to explain it.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do, actually, surprisingly.
Okay, well, just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, on NASA's Artemis 3 mission, which is happening in 2025, which is the most exciting mission probably of our generation because they're bringing people, including a woman, to the moon for the first time. Well, just a woman to the moon for the first time, not people in general. But they're also going to be launching Nokia's 4G network, and that's going to allow people to communicate faster and better on the moon than ever before, especially compared to 1960s technology. Yes, and also it will allow remote control of the rovers and also real-time navigation and also streaming of high-definition video. So you can watch Netflix on the moon. How exciting is that?
So hang on a minute. So they're basically, they must obviously have power up there, and so they're then going to essentially put 4G on the moon, and now I understand that would allow them to use it to control the robotics, the explorers, the rovers, and so on.
Yes, that's very true. And they are going to use the technology to try and find some actual water on the moon, which will really help launch any future missions that are going to be launching from the moon. Because as we know, hydrogen comes from water.
We do know that, yes.
What kind of plugs do they have? Do you need an adapter?
It's not continental Europe, Renee. So how did they control these rovers before? So is this a major step forward for them?
This will basically allow them to transmit much more data than ever before, right, and in a lot faster a way. So I think Nokia is really coming back in a big way.
Okay, so let's now move to your next story, shall we? This is, you'll like this, Renee. It's about a Lamborghini.
Yes, so after waving goodbye to the Aventador, Lamborghini have unveiled their brand new hypercar, which is called, it's a very difficult name to pronounce, the Revuelto, I believe it's Spanish, and it's going to be powered by a V12 engine, but it's also electrified. We all thought this was going to be the final V12 Lamborghini because the EU was going to ban internal combustion cars in 2035, but as we all know, Germany has recently overturned that. So they will be able to sell e-fueled powered cars in the future. So we might be seeing a lot more cars like this going into the very distant future. So people have different opinions about that, but I'm quite happy to see internal combustion continue personally.
Yes,
and so just in terms of this, so it's a hybrid, so it's internal combustion engine and also electric as well. What sort of spec is it? How fast does it go?
Well, it's got 1,000 horsepower and it can get from 0 to 60 in just 2.5 seconds, which is very, very quick for a series production car, especially.
And dare I ask, what sort of price point?
We don't exactly know yet. They're going to reveal that soon, but you can expect it to be well over £300,000.
Wow.
So this is
a lot of money.
Where Formula One is important because the cars in Formula One are hybrid and have been for a few years now.
Yeah.
And it's that technology that then gets taken into,
of course,
everyday cars.
Yeah. Are you buying
one
of these? 300,000?
I might say one.
Have two.
Hopefully I'll get a couple.
Yeah, well, quite right. Okay, let's move on now to our next story about the iPhone.
Yeah, so how often do we use the mute switch on our iPhones?
No.
Do we all know what that is? So on your iPhone, you've got a little switch over here.
I have to say, I use it a lot.
Oh, that one. Mine's constantly on mute.
Well, that's why it doesn't ring.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't ring.
How do you feel if they were to get rid of that, but also every other button on the iPhone?
Oh.
Well, does that mean that we would have a way of doing it on the screen?
Well, what they're going to do with the next iPhone 15 Pro is that they're going to remove all these buttons and replace them with haptic buttons, so they don't technically move, but it feels like that you're pressing them anyway. They'll give you a little vibration, and this will basically give you a lot more waterproofness. But people are lamenting the death of this switch because it's been here since like the very first iPhone. This is an iPhone 4 and it has it even.
I mean, I have to say, I find it useful because you can just switch it to mute very quickly.
I find it very useful because I only have it on mute.
I wish you had a mute button.
The great thing is that they're replacing it with an action button, so you can use that new button for anything you want, from like, you know, enabling Siri to turning on the torch to turning on the camera. It's going to be a lot more useful, but it's only going to be available on the iPhone 15 Pro. So hopefully you guys have your wallet ready to upgrade for that.
Right, let's move on then to... oh, yes, now, this next story disturbs me. Carry on.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favourite one. Well, how interested are you guys in a device that can simulate kissing and can transmit users' kissing data to another device? So you can be kissing your partner long distance without being close to one another at all.
Right, so you
Does that sound tempting?
Kiss this piece of plastic and it then...
and it will kiss back.
So does that then mimic the other one?
Yes, it does. It's called Moi, after I'm sure you know what that is.
Yeah.
And it will capture the sound data and even warms up to ordinary bodily temperatures during kissing, creating an even more authentic experience.
It just looks absolutely repellent to me.
Thank you.
Where is this being launched, or is this just
it's a
prototype?
Chinese startup. But they are expected to launch everywhere. They've already sold over 3,000 devices, and they've got 20,000 back orders. And some of the feedback about the device...
They've got 20,000 back orders?
20,000, yes. A lot of people have great things to say about the device, but others have noted the distinct and disturbing lack of tongue.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because Tom, the producer, wanted to know if it came with a tongue attachment.
No, it doesn't. And some people have been using it for other things that you might imagine. But you can also download kissing data, so you don't have to be kissing your partner at the same time.
It's Sunday. It's 9:40. This is too much.
This is foul. This is more examples of humans just destroying themselves.
Well, no, but if you have a long distance relationship, I'm just trying to think this
Speak on the phone like we always used to.
Well, but now you can kiss them.
No.
Well,
it's a sign of the future.
Right. Well, I mean, that's very interesting. But obviously, they think this is going to do well in terms of the marketplace.
Well, it's already got great traction in China. So I'm just wondering, so if this launched in the UK, would you guys be interested in getting it?
No. No, but Tom's already bought one. No.
Oh, come on, Renee. I thought you'd be converted by this product finally.
Oh my God.
No. Anything else for us this week? Or is that it?
That's it. So it's this and the Lamborghini. You're going to get both, right?
I'll have the Lamborghini.
Yeah, I think I prefer the Lamborghini rather than the kissing. Thank you very much indeed,
Thanks,
Davis. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. That was this week's Tech Rundown. Tech Rundown. I've seen it all now.
I despair. Every weekend there's another march towards insanity.
The funniest line was Tom saying, does it have a tongue? I mean, just what a strange reaction. This is what happens when you work with millennials.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a break now. After the break, it's time for your calls, your thoughts and your opinions. This is TalkTV.